What it do, people? Happy Saturday and all that goofy ass shit. Is your boy DJ Mixmaster Chaos on this beautiful Saturday evening, broadcasting live in the great state of Texas. It's Just Our Opinion podcast. Today is a special day for me because this is going to be one of my most favorite subjects. We're going to talk about hip hop today. And what the hell happened to it? Because a lot of y'all probably say, what you mean what happened? Well, of course, it sounds different. It's not like it used to be. And I know y'all probably say, damn, I mean, we're in the different times, you know, back in the 80s and 70s, 80s and 90s. That's like 30 and 40 years ago, almost 50 years ago. Well, almost at 50 years ago. You know, I mean, things have changed. It's the signs of times. Well, I don't want to hear all that shit. That's beside the damn point. The point is that it's a bigger picture than what you think it is. It ain't so much that it's a different day, a different time. It's just what the fuck they have planned. Meaning that it's a bigger picture than what you think it is. And we're going to discuss that tonight. But anyway, let's see. What's up, First Lady? Welcome. You're first in line as always. Much love, sweetheart. I was too busy trying to make sure that everything was together. I don't want nothing glitching and going in and out and all this old stuff. Because it seemed like my signal was kind of acting funny, but hopefully it probably stays stabilized for the time being. Because I am really in the boonies part of Texas again, boony part of the country. But I mean, when I was in California, at the time my signal was playing crazy. I was in a much bigger area because it was more populated, but this area here, this basically is a fucking resting area or whatever, but ain't nothing out here. But the weather's beautiful, the weather's pleasant, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to you guys. I heard y'all got some severe thunderstorms again in the Mississippi area. I looked on the radar and seen a lot of thunderstorms and stuff in y'all area. Look pretty nasty. I'll probably be getting a little bit more tonight and probably in the morning. So, y'all just be safe. And if y'all doing anything or going anywhere, you know what I'm saying, y'all be careful out there. Because I know the roads, especially in the areas like Hollandale and Greenville and, the Delta period, are flooded like crazy. So y'all make sure if y'all see the water and it looks like a lake, turn around and, like they say, turn around and don't drown. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to underestimate the height of that water, because a lot of times, especially if you're in areas that you're really not familiar with, it can get really flooded out there, and you get out there and that water start getting way up almost to your damn hood. It floods your engine out. It's been one, unless you're driving a pickup, like a truck 4x4 or something. Other than that, if you drive a regular car, you can do it. The car is low profile. Then most of y'all probably riding on 24s or 26s or whatever. It probably work all right with y'all. We gonna leave that alone, but I'm talking about the low profile vehicles that sit real low. You know what I'm saying? You probably might want to turn around and try not to drown. But anyway, let's get to the topic tonight. Hip hop. What happened to it? Was hip hop more empowering back then than now? Well, yeah, of course it was. Because, when hip hop first came out, hip hop was really not even known. And hip hop's birthday, I want to get it right. I'm thinking it was August 9th, 1973. And it came into play by a man named DJ Kool Herc, who was from his family in this, I think he was from the islands, but they moved to the Bronx, and he basically was, he was like one of the first DJs. He was like the first hip hop DJ. He's the one that created the hip hop sound, and he basically started the playlist of music, and how to make music, basically break beats and stuff without the words. He can basically play a song and he can cut it at the time before the words start to say something. And that's what usually was what the rap with the breakdance and b-boy, as they call them, b-boys and b-girls used to dance to. They used to dance what they call the break or the get down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Kool Herc invented that by taking the song and cutting it before the words start and playing it, looping it around back and forth. And now DJs got it easy. Now all you gotta do is just press a loop button on the damn, controller, controller turntable, and it'll do it by itself. But he did it with his hands, manually with two turntables, record players, whatever you want to call it. But in that particular time, hip hop really didn't have its basically ability to be in the mainstream yet, because it wasn't even really fully born yet. But however, around that particular time, we were still getting in the groove of the funk, rock, R&B and disco. And in that particular time, later off into the mid 70s, the disco era started really popping hard, and it was more about the dancing crave, and a lot of songs that they were singing, disco stars were singing, they was basically considered as commercialized music. So it was basically music that just made you move and groove all night long. But it started getting real ugly as time went along throughout the years, because disco started becoming more of a homosexual type of situation back then. And people of that time did not go along with that type of lifestyle, a lot of them anyway, like they do now, you know what I'm saying? But it was a DJ from Chicago who basically destroyed disco. I want to say the summer of '79. I'm not sure what month. I think it was probably about June of '79. And y'all can look them up. I can't think of the name. All you gotta do is type of disco sucks, and it'll pull it up. But this DJ out of Chicago, he was a Caucasian man. He basically said that he was tired of hearing disco, and then he said disco basically was destroying the culture of music, because it was seemed like it was more on the gay type of feminine side of the game, and he wanted to destroy it, and a lot of people felt the same way as he felt. So what he did, when they was having a baseball game in Chicago at Soldier Field, he took some records, a whole lot of disco records, and put them in the middle of the baseball field. And it took a whole lot of, I think it was dynamite, and he blew up all these records. And everybody went out there and they were just jumping on the records, stumping all on the disco records and everything. It just became one big old chaotic situation, to where it started being a riot and all that stuff. People just going crazy. It just went crazy. And it fucked up the baseball game as well, because it was supposed to be like a little halftime thing, a little break for the baseball players to go back and chill for a second. And he was supposed to go out there and do his little thing and be done with it, but it got out of control, and it fucked the baseball game up. And what's good, Swift? What was good, Swift? My brother, my name ain't Swift. Got the wrong. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Maybe that's a slang. What's good, Swift? But anyway, what I was saying. Anyway, they messed up the football game. Anyway, been a basketball game. Let's be up. Messed up the basketball game. I mean the baseball game. I'm still fucking up. Messed up the baseball game to a point where they couldn't finish the game, and it became a little big situation. Police had to come out and break up everything. So, more of the story, he made news all around the world, all around the country and around the world, and everybody was like, "Damn, they really kicked fucking disco to the curb." So, around that time, when all that shit was going on, and everybody was basically shitting on disco, a new sound was born, and that was hip hop. If you ever hear the song "Good Times" by Chic, that breakdown of "Good Times" became a sample, a new sound for hip hop, which brought in this group from out of New York called the Sugar Hill Gang, and they did a song called "Rapper's Delight," which was produced by the late Sylvia Robinson. She basically had I want to say Big Hank, God rest his day, he was Sylvia's nephew, and she overheard him rapping because he worked at a pizza parlor in New York, and she overheard him rapping the song. But the song that he was rapping, the lyrics that he was rapping, was somebody else's lyrics, and it was my brother. What's my brother's name? God damn, I can't think of his name. They'll come to me later. But all I can tell you, Big Hank was rapping somebody else's lyrics, but he made it his own. But he didn't make it his own until Sylvia heard him rapping it, because she had owned a record company. And she was like, "What was that you were rapping? What was that you were saying?" And he was like, "It's called rapping." And she was like, "I like that. I would like for you to record in my studio. You get a couple more of your friends or whatever, y'all come up with a song or whatever, and y'all come to the studio and I'll record that." So, matter of fact, I tell you what, I'll just play a clip of that song, because you might not know what I'm talking about. I can play you a clip of that song. Find it. Oh no, I can't play it. I forgot it. Load it on. I'm sorry. But you can look up the song "Rapper's Delight." "Rapper's Delight" was the first hip hop rap song to be played on mainstream. After it was recorded in 1979, it became hip hop's first rap song to go at that particular time viral, as what we call it today. It became a pretty good song, but it was still up under the disco era. But at the same time, they knew it wasn't disco; it was something else, because there was guys that was rhyming over a beat that was created by Nile Rodgers of Chic. And that song started to blow up, and then a little bit after that, another rapper named Curtis Blow. I want to say Curtis Mayfield. Curtis Blow, he came up with the Christmas rap. Y'all can look that up too. And it's a pretty dope song, you know what I'm saying? But the funniest thing about that song, it was supposed to be a Christmas song, but the song was played year round, all day, every day. It wasn't just for Christmas, but for every day, because the way he was rapping it, he considered it as a Christmas song, but it wasn't really so much of a Christmas song. It was a regular song, but they called it the Christmas rap. But that became a pretty good song as well. And then we moved right along into 1982. You had a brother named African Bambaataa in the Soul Sonic Force. who came up with this new electrical synthesizing sound that basically changed the game for hip hop forever. And this is a song called Planet Rock. The song was a bit of a sample from Kraftwerk, Transatlantic Express. They basically went and done that song over with the help of Kraftwerks, and Kraftwerks basically put another spiel on top of it, which had like synthesized drum beats and keyboard, and this shit went hard. And it basically was something different that was never heard before. Basically, African Bambaataa was ahead of their time back then, because they started to really develop the 808 sound. And that basically became a real breakdancing anthem, Planet Rock. So later on down the line, you get around 83, 84, Run DMC comes out. What is like that? And let's see, it's another song. Hold on. It's like that, and it's another song before that. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But all I can say, Run DMC came out around 83, 84. But it's like that, and they basically was one of the first rappers to start the dress code craze. To give hip hop an image, and their image was Adidas, and that became a thing, to a point where rappers started to follow suit, because everybody started to bring on their own persona of the way they dressed. Because you had Run DMC had the Adidas with those shoelaces and the gold chains, and of course the leather jackets and caps and stuff. And then LL Cool J comes right behind and started wearing situations like that. But he started wearing the Kangol hats and the gold chains and Adidas, sometimes Pumas. And it started Run DMC basically started making an image for hip hop, because hip hop didn't have an image, when it first came out. So now, I'm sorry, I left out Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. That song called The Message. And that song, basically, The Message came out in 83. And this is a year before Run DMC came out. And when that message came out, the message basically was just what it was. It was giving a message, what was going on. They was rapping about what was going on in the streets of New York. You know what I'm saying? And that song basically pretty much went nationwide, and it became a new sound for hip hop as well. Right after Planet Rock. And the thing about it is, when that song came out, like I said, it was just what it was. It was giving a message. You know what I'm saying? Because it was talking about, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Sometimes it makes me wonder why I keep on going under. And it basically was talking about, the poverty side of the game, you know what I'm saying, about the man basically going to work, working his ass off to make ends meet for his family. It was just like, basically spitting real life situations back then. And that was a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying, because it was talking about things that people could relate to. So when that came out, like I said, Run DMC came out, and when Run DMC came out, Run DMC basically was followed by UTFO and Houdini. And then you had LL Cool J to come out. See, and then it's just like rappers just start popping up out of different directions, coming out of the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? The West Coast, we had our little chill too. A lot of people didn't know it though, but it was more mainstream coming out of the East Coast than it was out of the West Coast, believe it or not. Because more people knew about the East Coast rappers way back in the days than they did in the West. That's why a lot of people try to speculate who came out with hip hop first. Was it the East or the West? But quiet as kept. Me being from LA, you know what I'm saying? I'm always down with the West Coast all day, every day. I'm born and raised out there. But the East Coast came out before the West Coast. And it's been documented, it's been shown. Period. Because when the West Coast started doing their thing, nobody really knew about the West Coast rap like that. I mean, you had when West Coast rappers started coming out, I say Egyptian Lover came out. When Egyptian Lover and Uncle Jam's Army came out. They came out like around 83, 84. They was heard, but they wasn't heard like, I don't think they was heard like the East Coast rappers were heard. You know what I'm saying? Because at that particular time, that music that was coming out of the West, people really, they heard it, but it wasn't really registering because New York felt like if they would have been to the point where they would have gave West Coast a lot of clout, then what they were getting, it wouldn't have been right. You know what I'm saying? Because see, it was kind of like an East Coast West Coast thing back then, but it wasn't violent or where it was the media was pumping the shit. It was just the fact of the matter that East Coast felt like, you know, we started this shit. This is where we want this shit to be at. So the moral of the story is East Coast rap first originated all of this shit. Sorry, West Coast, but that's just the way it is. Because as I can remember, and I'm a 70s baby, and I came up in the 80s era. And one thing I can tell you, as far as I can remember, back in the 80s on the West Coast, Ice-T started. He was like the first mainstreamed out rapper to represent the West Coast, even though he was from the East Coast. He was from New Jersey, but he was more West Coast than he was East Coast. Because when he came out to California, he was like 12, 13 years old. So when Ice-T got the contract signed, when the movie Breaking came out, they asked Ice-T to do a rap for Breaking, for the movie Breaking. And this was like 84. So you got to think about it. Hip hop was already in a run scale back then before Ice-T came out. You know what I'm saying? So, but Ice-T at that particular time was breakdancing Ice-T. Ice-T didn't really started to change his persona until, I want to say, 1986, 87. And around that time, West Coast was starting to break their ground for the gangster rap type of vibe, as the media called it. Because back then, a lot of people didn't know about the rappers of the West Coast. Because everybody, when you think about the West Coast way back in the days, the first thing that comes to your mind is Eazy-E and NWA. They were rappers that was out before Eazy-E. They come out the West Coast. There was a rapper called Toddy T. That came out before Eazy-E. He had a song called The Battle Ram. You can look it up on YouTube. There was another rapper that came out of the West Coast, God rest the dead, that really didn't get no airplay far as nationwide. Has to offer Mixmaster Spade. God rest his dead. He was out before Easy and NWA. Like I said, Egyptian Lover was out before NWA. Uncle Jam's Army, the LA Dream Team. I know y'all probably heard of LA Dream Team. They had a song called Dream Team's in the House, Roxbury, all that's all that's West Coast. All that came out before Easy even thought about coming out. Let's see who else was out back then. Dr. Dre was out back then before Easy came out, but he was in the rap group called World Class Wrecking Crew. They had a rap group called LA Posse that was out before Easy even came out. West Coast started really building up their persona of so-called gangster rap or whatever the case may be, was like in 84, 85. And what brought the West Coast out as far as real hardcore hip hop, it started with a rapper from the East Coast named Schoolie D from West Philly. He had a song called PSK, Parkside Killers. I think that's what it's called. I think it's Parkside Killers, something like that. Yeah, I think. And he had a PSK, and that's the name of the song, PSK. I think it's Parkside Killers or something like that. But the caterings of that song had the same caterings for Ice-T 6 in the Morning when he brought that out. And when you listen to Ice-T 6 in the Morning song, his caterings brought the birth of Boys in the Hood. So all three of these songs were just alike with the help of Schoolie D from the West Coast, from the East Coast. So Schoolie D was considered to all the West Coast rappers as the first gangster rap artist in hip hop history. See, everybody thinking that it was the East Coast, but no, thinking it was the West Coast, but no, it was the East Coast. It just wasn't New York; it was Philly that started this so-called gangster rap. So, as time went along, like I say, Ice-T started to build up his persona of rap, but he was like a crime rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like to tell, different, he was a storyteller in his rap, what they call crime rap. And it was basically consist of, robbing, stealing and hustling and pimping and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it basically glorified a little gangster mentality rap that come out of South Central LA, you know what I'm saying? Then Easy comes out with Boys in the Hood, and it set the world on fire because Boys in the Hood became the West Coast anthem, even bigger than Ice-T's 6 in the Morning. And the reason why was because Eazy-E's voice was a bit different from all the rap voices out there, you know what I'm saying? And not to mention, he basically, had a clout chasing Caucasian man named Jerry Hettler that basically pushed a lot of his music out. You know what I'm saying? But Easy basically didn't want to be the only one to get in the game, so he ended up bringing his partners in, which was Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, and DJ Yella, and Prince. What's Prince? Prince. What is that dude's name? Start with an A. Damn. I can't think of his name, but he didn't stay long because when they got that contract signed with Jerry Hettler, he left but it was him, because it was really 5 guys, but it ended up being down to 4. And then later on down, it ended up being down to 3 because Ice Cube ended up leaving. So when that happened, you know what I'm saying, rap music started to really change its persona real hard and heavy, because we started getting into the 90s. Not to mention the late mid 80s was cracking, because, you know, we can go back to the East Coast. You know, you had Kool Moe Dee, you know what I'm saying, you had Big Daddy Kane, you had the Jungle Brothers. Then you had the Native Tongues coming out, the Jungle Brothers, De La Soul, Brand Nubian, Tribe Called Quest, and then you had X-Clan, and, you know, in the 90s and stuff, and Main Source. Like, the rappers was just popping up like popcorn. But the only thing about that rap music was that it was more positivity coming in the hip hop scene, because a lot of the East Coast rappers, a lot of them back then were 5%ers of the Nation of Islam. And a lot of them grew up around the Zulu Nation, which was African Bambaataa, because African Bambaataa's whole persona of hip hop was about peace and prosperity, you know what I'm saying, unity and knowledge of self. All the things that the Nation of Islam basically was wrapped around. So you gotta think about it. The rap music started to educate us as we danced along the way. Peace, brother. Jonathan Shoots. Much love. Welcome to the show, bro. So anyway, that music started to really educate us to knowing who we were and how to respect ourselves in an orderly fashion. Respect ourselves, our family, our friends, each other, the world. But only one problem with the respect. The respect was, why these Negroes are having all the respect in the world, you know what I'm saying? Because we can't make no money off of them being respectful. And I'm talking about the powers that be, who basically runs the industry and runs the big private prison in this country. Now I'm finna go deep on this situation here. See, one thing about the Rules of War, if you ever read the book, The Rules of War by Sun Tzu, it basically specifies when you can get into a person's head mentally, you can change the whole fucking world. And what I mean by that is, if they can take something positive overnight and turn it around and make it negative, it can be done. And they've done that. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. See, like I say, there was a whole lot of positive hip hop coming up out of the East Coast back in the days. And you had some positive rappers coming out of the West Coast too, because you had Souls of Mischief, you had The Coop, you had Far Side, you had Compton's Righteous. That's one of the rap groups right there that didn't really get too much no real airplay, but of course, because think of the name, Compton Righteous. Oh yeah. I can't never forget about Gangstar, God Rest His Dead Guru. That was one of my favorite East Coast rappers of all time. I love Guru. I love Gangstar. God rest the dead. I hate that brother passed, but man, that hurted my heart when he died. But his music gonna stay with me always, because I've always loved to listen to his music. His music, and peace to DJ Premier. Because if it wasn't for Premier with those smooth jazz samples and drum loops and stuff, there wouldn't be no Gang Starr. Plain and simple. But that's one thing I loved about East Coast rappers. You know what I'm saying? One thing I love about East Coast rappers, you know, that was different from West Coast was they always paid homage, they paid respect to the jazz music. And that's what I loved about that music, man. God damn. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I hear a rapper like come out of the East Coast, and I can name you about 10 rap groups or rappers that use jazz music. One, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Grand Nubian, Black Moon. Okay, that's 5 right there. I got 5 more. Prince Hakeem, Leaders of the New School, which is Busta Rhymes' old group. That's 7. I got 3 more. Fuck it. I'm gonna go just say solo shit. King Son, Main Source, and I gotta get one more in there. One more. Did I say? I did say Black Sheep, didn't I? I think I did. I don't think I said Black Sheep, but Black Sheep, and that's another one of my favorite groups. See what Brother Jonathan Shoe said. I've been really impressed by. Oh, okay. Never heard of him. I'm about to look him up. But yeah, but you know, like I say, I love that the fact that they pay homage to the, you know, jazz sound, because, you know, that was our other culture that we came up with as Black people. You know what I'm saying? Even though they called it jackass music, you know, in a racial form back in the days, but at the same time, you know, symbols of white supremacy, they don't when they see us coming up with something that they don't understand, they gotta make fun of it until it start sounding good to them, and they want to make money off of it. That's just the way it is. But anyway, like I say, that was one of my big situations of East Coast rap, was like the listen. I just like the sound of that jazz music, and when they rap a beat around it, that shit just does something too. I ain't gonna lie. But I got a partner, peace to my brother Willie D. He can't stand that type. He don't like East Coast music like that. I think only one East Coast rapper group that he liked out of the East Coast, and that was Wu-Tang Clan. He liked it more of an aggressive, hardcore, I'm gonna whoop your ass, shoot you in the head type of music. That was my boy, but that's my boy. But he couldn't stand De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest. All that shit right there, he could not stand. But I can understand that, because, you know, everybody have their own persona of how they like their music. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me. You know what I'm saying? I like shit like that. I mean, that shit, it's smooth and laid back. You know what I'm saying? And it got a nice little bass to it. Oh shit, I can listen to that all day and night. But let's see what you say, bro. With yeah, that was like the first most popular book music was being easily doing the flapper bass. Right. True that. Yeah, but this, you know, like I say, East Coast, and, you know, even the West Coast. I mean, not just, you know, East Coast was more of that group type of, you know, more of a jazz influence heads than the West Coast. I mean, West Coast was using jazz beats too, because Souls of Mischief used a lot of on that 93 Infinity album. They used a lot of jazz samples in that album. I've caught a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then a lot of rappers used to love to use that I've really caught on to. They used to love, and I'm gonna say peace and love to Roy Ayers. If you ever heard of Roy Ayers and Donald Byrd. Oh man, I love Roy Ayers and Donald Byrd fucking music, man. I'm talking about they got some of the funkiest music, and I see why rappers like it because it's got that mass appeal. Speaking of mass appeal, that's one of the Gangstar songs, Mass Appeal. But it had that nice groove sound. It made you just like, bob your head, You know what I'm saying? It made you feel good, Boy, I'll maybe play some of that shit later on when I get off this podcast. Hell yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. Shit. I love it. But so now we finna get off into the whole concepts. Hold on, Moment of Truth. Moment of Truth is my favorite. Yeah, bro. I got that whole CD, that whole album, Moment of Truth. I bought that. I remember when I first bought that CD back in '98. That's when it first dropped. And what fucked me up was when Guru brought that album out. He wanted to bring in a down south, one of my favorite down south artists, Scarface. This song called "Scandalous." Man, I was fucked up. I said, "What?" Because back in the days, when they show these albums coming out on BET or MTV or a commercial, commercial break, they always say, Gangstar got a new album, Gangstar's new album, Moment of Truth, and he's featuring hot tracks with Freddie Fox and Scarface. I said, Scarface from Ghetto Boys. Oh shit! And I couldn't wait when it first dropped. I wouldn't got that damn. That CD, and I played that motherfucker from the beginning to the end. And one thing I can tell you about Guru, and that brother there, he had a track he came out with in 2000. I want to say 2000. It was like about maybe 2 or 3 years before he passed, and he basically was going off on. He basically was talking about this new generation music, but we're gonna get into that in a minute. And he basically was saying, how it did. But when it first came on, it had DJ Premier talking shit about DJs playing like robots and shit. They don't even play the music like they used to play on the radio station. They basically letting the motherfucking, radio. Personnel and all them motherfuckers telling them how to DJ and mix and all this stuff. And he was like, this is a bunch of bullshit. I can't think of the name of that song, but if you ever look it up, it's on that. I think it's on that last album he made before he passed. And he was saying, sometimes I find myself with my back against the wall, because it's like saying, like, what the fuck has happened to the goddamn music? Like I'm saying tonight. What the fuck has happened to hip hop? You know what I'm saying? And Guru picked up on this before he passed because he knew it was another sound that was brewing that didn't sound right. Shout out to my bro Mega Lockdown. You know what I'm saying? He did a reaction on Tom McDonald, and that Caucasian dude goes ham and eggs. I'm telling you. Yeah, I've heard him too. He was hitting it, bro. I'm for real. He was hitting it hard. I can dig that. But anyway, now it's time to get off into the deep conversation of what happened to hip hop. Well, matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into a little break. I'm gonna play a couple of the tracks that I know they probably might flag me, but they can't flag me too much. But I'm gonna play a couple of tracks that I picked up on my TikTok account that I felt like was a bit of a catch that I grew up to love real good. And it was all a part of the real hip hop scenario. And this is one of them right here.
With a crime record like Charles Manson, AK-47 is a tool. Don't make me act a motherfucking fool. Me and you can go toe to toe, no mate. Connected to my party, the Jimmy Jabber, Georgia jabbing at your funny bone. Skip the Ovaltine, I'd rather have my honeycomb, or preferably the sesame, like Spiggly smoke the blood. Some dun 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 dun. They wanna pay.
15 niggas on the corner, and niggas die young in California. 5-0 get a dope case and flaunt it. Have your ass on America's Most Wanted. But I don't slang or either gangbang. And though my old school homies do the same thing, I still got.
All right, I'm back. That was just a little clip, a little tidbit of some of the tracks that I grew up off of and that I loved and endured throughout the hip hop ages. But anyway, we're finna go deep now about what happened to hip hop. Let's see. Well, I gotta get him ready for tomorrow, bro. Keep on. All right, much love to you, bro. Appreciate you stopping by, bro. All day. Okay, now we're finna go deep on what happened to hip hop. Well, as I said before, hip hop at the particular time was becoming a very positive, prosperable situation that basically showed us love, happiness, made us dance, made us feel good. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about the music, that spirit is too savage. Basically, in your heart, your body, and soul, you feel you know, hip hop telling about the life that we need to live, the life that we should live. And the thing about it is, we get to that point, believe it or not, in 19. And the thing of it is, the white power structure of America that runs this country, that basically runs the world, seeing that we were rising to going back to where we started, knowing about our landmass of Africa and Egypt. That's why we started wearing the African paraphernalia, because at that time there was a man named Nelson Mandela. He had just got out of prison in 1990. And everybody was happy and very excited that the brother got out. So we started to celebrate him being out of prison for being locked up for over 20-something years. Rappers of all types, from east to the west, were all rapping about peace and prosperity. Yeah, true enough, we had NWA, you had Too Short, you had King T, you had all the West Coast gangster, so-called gangster rap going on at the time, but it wasn't overthrowing the De La Souls, the Poor Righteous Teachers, the Tribe Called Quests, the Black Moons, the Black Sheeps. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on. It wasn't overthrowing them. The powers that be seen this, and they didn't like it. So in 1991, they got together in my hometown, LA. All the big record company owners, producers, and big private-owned prison business owners all got together to figure out how they was going to change this music from peace to prosperity to being gangster and violent. Because these guys invested billions of dollars on private prisons alone in this country, but they wasn't filling them up. And what better way to fill up the prisons? Change the goddamn music. All this love your brother, love your sister, help your mother, help your father, love your children, be a father to your children, be a father, be a mother to your child. All this type of music was thrown out the window. The powers that be said, we can't benefit off of these Negroes making music that basically specified them having knowledge of self and showing love to each other, because it don't make us no money by them doing it. We need material that's going to promote trouble to where they get their asses locked up and put in jail for the rest of their lives. So they basically sitting around figuring out ways how they were going to create this new type of sound. Around that time, they was trying to figure out who was going to be the heavy hitter, the big head for the West Coast. Oh, we got a black man that basically been in trouble all the time. He's a fucking former football player, but he's a security guard in Compton. And he security guards different rappers in the West Coast. His name is Suge Marion Knights. We'll get him to run this record label called Death Row Records and bring in some of the best production of music hip-hop has ever seen and heard before. Who did they go get? Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was the brains of creating different beats and sounds and stuff, to where the music had access, bass, and treble. They got your attention and kept you moving. But only one problem: we need somebody to rap on top of it that's going to rap the opposite of what they've been talking about. This peace and prosperity and knowledge of self. We're taking all that shit out. Let's start talking about bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. It's Dre Day. Let's smoke a blunt, get high, shoot up each other, kill one another. Fuck these niggas. Fuck these bitches. All this right here started off of Death Row. Not to mention, they wasn't by themselves. We got to go. We got something for the East Coast too. Let's get Sean Puffy Combs, a video head that used to dance and all that old crap. And he was also a secretary for Universal Records side company that Heavy D was on, and Mary J. Blige, make him the CEO of a record label called Bad Boy. What's up, cuz? Welcome to the show, cuz. Right. So, Diddy, as he called himself now, but back then he was Puff Daddy, basically was creating his persona of bitches and hoes and clothes and stuff and material shit. But it was more on the material side of the game than anything. As long as they wasn't talking about knowledge of self and peace and prosperity, they didn't give a damn. That was beside the fucking point. So while he came up with when they came up with Bad Boy Records in 93, Death Row was already created in 92. Dr. Dre came in with the, making the beats. And then this 20-year-old skinny, tall, 6'5" Negro named Calvin Broadus, aka Snoop Doggy Dogg, comes walking in the studio. Remember, he's not. It was said that he was never a gangbanger. I don't know that to be true or not, but he's always claimed rolling 20 Crips, which is a Crip gang. It's a blood gang in L.A., but it's a Crip gang in Long Beach. And Long Beach and L.A. is the same thing. This is a big side city outside of Los Angeles. But anyway, Snoop Dogg comes in and started rapping and helped change the game of the West Coast. The West Coast was blowing up more than ever since NWA with the help of Snoop Dogg. On the East Coast, they still trying to get their shit together in 93. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Snoop family is from Mississippi, and also Suge Knight's and Nate Dogg. Suge Knight's cousins are from Vicksburg, and Nate Dogg's family is from Clarksdale. But anyway, they like I was saying, Puff Daddy was still building up his clientele on the East Coast with Bad Boy. His first artist was a guy named Craig Mack. He dropped the song Flavor in Your Ear. That song was bumping. It was making his props. It was making his credits due. But it just wasn't powerful enough to basically push this bad boy imagery out there. Because one thing about Craig Mack just wanted to rap. He didn't want to make like he was trying to be no hardcore glorifying rapper. He just wanted to basically say his shit and be through with it. So at that time, there was a 22-year-old heavyset young brother named Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G., was found on the corner in the streets of Brooklyn rapping in a battle, and it caught the eyes of Mr. C, which was Big Daddy Kane's DJ. Mr. C basically told Diddy, Puff Daddy at the time, about Biggie, and he loved what he heard, and he wanted to sign Biggie right on the spot. And he basically heard how Biggie was flowing, because Biggie was rapping just like Big Daddy Kane used to do, because Big Daddy Kane used to rap about clothes and stuff like that, but he was basically on a smoother version. He wasn't calling them bitches and hoes and stuff. He wasn't doing all that old goofy ass shit. He was more on the pimping, smooth laid back type of vibe compared to what Biggie was doing. Biggie was the new version of Big Daddy Kane, but he was harder than ever because, you know, on that materialistic shit. He basically started the materialistic game in the 90s when he came down to hip hop. And he also talked about drugs and things of that nature too. When he first started recording his song Juicy in 94. That song had got so much play to the point where, you know, it basically put New York back on the map, because New York had fell off the map for a while, for a little bit, because of the West Coast. Because, you know, West Coast started blowing up. Everybody was focusing on the West more than it was in the East. You know, I mean, even to the point where, you know, Ice Cube had broke away from NWA and he started doing his own solo act, and then he started doing movies. You know, his first movie, Boy in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was focusing more on the West Coast than it was on the East. So Biggie brought the East Coast life situation back, because they damn near lost the pulse of the East Coast hip hop. You know, even though Wu-Tang Clan was doing their shit, but it wasn't too much like where people can really just hoodly vibe off of, you know. But they said, it was said, I heard a guy say on the podcast back here, he said that Melly Mel said a chant that, he said, Biggie is the dopest rapper to have never said anything. And what he was saying is, his music sounded so good, but it didn't make no fucking sense to the average conscious person like myself, or people that really want to hear some real upstanding music. Because see, all he was talking about was cars, clothes, and hoes. And that's all the industry wanted him to do. So the whole moral of the story was, rap started to take its turn to the right instead of the left, or things from the right to the left. You know what I'm saying? And even with Tupac, can't leave Pac out, God rest the dead. When Pac first got on the scene, Pac started on the scene with Digital Underground. He was a backup dancer. Pac really started his whole persona off the backs of Digital Underground. He was already a rapper anyway, but to get himself out there more, he had help by Shock G, God rest the dead. And Shock G said back here a while before he passed that Pac was like no other when he came down to get on that microphone, because Pac was a poet at best. He knew how to write, when to write, and why to write. And he was just always on point with his lyrics. And see, when Pac first came out, Pac wasn't even a rapper yet when he came out with the movie Juice. Pac wasn't even rapping. He was rapping underground, but mainstream he wasn't rapping yet. So when Juice came out, that was just a movie that was made, and it was basically, for what I got, was a freestyle movie. And what I mean a freestyle movie is just like rapping. They were just coming off the head with what they wanted to say and do in that movie. Because the movie was written 10, 15 years before then, and they had to change the word up because, like Omar Epps said, he said they were saying some old 70s ass shit, and this is the 90s, and they're like, man, we're not finna say that shit on the movie. So they changed the whole, they just said, fuck it, this freestyle movie, you know what I'm saying? This act, you know, just put your acting skills to work. And Tupac was a damn good actor. And he didn't write shit down. He did just what they said to do. He just fucking freestyled that shit. Because if you really looked at Pac was acting, he was so fully into that acting part of that movie. He was like, God damn, that's how Pac act in real life. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he, he rapped and he, what I'm saying, and how he was acting in the streets. But Pac was not a rapper yet. What I'm saying? He didn't have an album deal when he had the movie Juice out. Because what had happened was Pac had came with Treach. Him and Treach was like this back in the days. And it was supposed to have been a rehearsal for Treach. But when they seen how Pac was talking and acting, talking and stuff, they was like, "You the one we need for this movie situation. We need you." But Treach was in the movie too. If y'all would have seen the fighting part when they was ganging up on Pac with Rodman, Treach was in there, but Treach wasn't the full actor. And Treach didn't care. He was like, "Hey, that's my boy Pac. Let him get it. Fucking get him get it." That's how it. That's how it was. It wasn't hating or nothing like that. It was, hey, fuck it. He's a good rap. He's a good dude. Let him get the part. So Pac got the part in the movie, and the movie scored real hard. But at the same time, Pac's fantasy was in the hip hop situation, to where Pac was writing lyrics of his songs that he wanted to rap about. And I seen a clip on this podcast, and the brother was saying that Omar Epps was saying that Pac was he had went in Pac's trailer. They had the wardrobe trailer and all that other shit. And he went in there and he said Pac was kind of, I guess, melancholy or something, because he had seen this young lady and seen this young lady basically dump her baby in the dumpster. And he was like, Pac was like, "How could she do this?" And Omar said, "Man, this is life in New York, bro. This is what they do." He was like, "Man, but that shit don't make it right, though." And he was like, "Well, that's just how it is, Pac." And Pac told him, and Pac was like, "Man, I got a right to this shit." And he said he came in Pac's trailer, and Pac was writing the song to Brenda's Got a Baby. I was like, wow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Treach didn't say nothing, because see, that was the whole, because Treach, it was really supposed to be Treach in the damn movie, but Treach, the guy seen the way Pac was talking and how he was doing things and stuff. He liked it the way Pac's groove was compared to Treach. Even though Treach is a good actor too, but I guess he must have felt like Pac's vibe would have been a whole lot more bringing to the movie than Treach was. So, but Treach didn't trip about it. Treach was like, "Fuck it, shit, get the part, let him get the part," because him and Pac was just that cool. He really didn't trip about it. But anyway, so when it got to the point where the movie Juice was done or whatever the case may be, Pac was writing the song Brenda's Got a Baby. And when he wrote that song, it caught the ears of, I forgot the broad name in New York, in California, but she basically knew some heads over there at Interscope Records, which is the side company for Warner Brothers in California. And they liked the song, and they told Pac, "You come in the studio." He recorded it. And Pac recorded a whole lot of positive music at that particular time, because a lot of times, but see, Pac mindset was more of on the poet, strong-minded, strong man vibe. And you got to remember, when Pac was doing this music, this was around the time when they was trying to make the turn for the hip-hop sound to turn a different direction. Pac was talking about peace and prosperity. But at the same time, Pac had a target on his back, because they knew who Pac was when it came to the point where Pac was a family member of the Black Panthers. His mother was the head woman, her head woman of the Harlem chapter of the Black Panthers in New York. So they had already had eyes on Pac ever since he was a baby. And they already knew Pac was a real smart brother, and he knew some shit, and he wasn't on the shit like Biggie and them was on at that particular time. Because even Biggie said a lot of times when Pac used to talk, when him and Pac used to hang, when they was hanging, Pac used to talk about a lot of stuff, and Biggie be like, "What the fuck is you talking about, Pac?" Because you gotta remember, Biggie was a youngster back then, and they were both young, but Pac's mind was more high branched because of his background, where he come from. He come from that. So that's pretty much why Jada Pinkett Smith basically fell in love with Pac, because Pac was peace and prosperity Pac. Pac was the type of person, like, when he see police brutality, he want to go over there and say, "Hey, man, leave that brother alone. He ain't did shit wrong, man. Leave him the fuck alone, man. You racist ass hookies, racist ass crackers up here fucking with niggas, man, all the time." You know, he was that type of brother. You know what I'm saying? At that particular time. Yeah. Pac was ahead of his time. He was very, very much ahead of his time. And that was the thing that really scared the powers that be, because they knew who Pac's mind was. And they knew that Pac basically grew up under the tutelage of strong-minded black people. And this side basically was a home young man at his age, and he wasn't but 21, 22 years old, and he was talking like an average 40-year-old, and he was strong-minded. He meant what he said. He said what he meant. And don't you know that scares the shit out of the beast? The beast don't want young men talking like Pac in this generation anyway. So back then, they basically had to make an example out of Pac. When Pac got shot at Quad Studios in 1995, Pac was so paranoid and so fucked up in the head to where he didn't know who was his friend and who was his foe. To where he thought that Diddy and Biggie and Junior Mafia had something to do with him getting shot in that studio. So when Pac got out the hospital, he brought himself out the hospital because Pac wasn't even well good, but Pac just said he wasn't trying to stay around. He wanted to go home because he was just tired of being sick and tired. But when it all boiled down, Pac Pac, when he finally got out the hospital, they came at Pac and charged Pac with molesting with some kind of rape charge for supposedly had raped this woman that henchman, the dude that he was hanging with at the time, sought him up with. The woman basically said Pac raped her, which was a lie. It was a setup. It was a power that be U.S. intelligence game. They saw Pac up to where he ended up going to jail for nothing. And when Pac went to jail, as Pac was locked up, Pac said that he was brought to the attention that Puff and Biggie had something to do with him getting shot at Quad Studio. But lo and behold, Pac didn't know that was an agent that was telling him that. It was the informant who was telling him that. And Pac believed it, to where Pac was furious. He was very mad. He was very upset. Not to mention he was being tampered with in prison because they kept on taunting him. And I think they kept taunting him because they wanted him to basically change his mindset on how he rapped his music, because the whole setup was they wanted Pac to be with the Death Row family in California. And they were saying in order for Pac to have his freedom or whatever the case may be, and live a real fruitful life, you need to sign this contract and help push this new hip hop music. And they kept fucking with Pac, They basically, no lie, raped Pac. They raped Pac when he was in prison. Because if you ever get the book, FBI War on Tupac and Black Leaders, it's basically specified in that book that Pac had visitors, that, you know, like his mother and all them family folks or whatever, come visit him. And they got tight security where he was at. I think he was in Rikers Island or some shit like that in New York. But they still wanted to check him for contraband. And they going all up the man's asshole and everything, checking for drugs. But they were just fucking with Pac. To where David Kenner and Suge Knights and them said, you know, we're gonna go and get Pac. And they was already had the side up to go get Pac, you know, anyway, you know what I'm saying? And they did some crazy shit that's never been done in the history of music. And that's come to a goddamn prison with a contract. He signed his life away in prison. He basically sold to the devil in prison. Pac, they said Pac was hurt. He was crying and everything because he knew that he was finna fuck. He knew that he was fucking up, but he just didn't want to be in prison because they were gonna keep on torturing him. So he signed the contract and he was over at Death Row. In the contract, he had to do 3 albums. The first album the first album he did, All Eyes on Me, it became a double album because it was 2 CDs. He did that, and you know, it blew up. It went platinum, double platinum. And the songs basically considered a lot of diss tracks, and well, not diss tracks, a lot of hateful lyrics that was not ever, that Pac never have ever done in his life. He basically, they changed him to be somebody he didn't want to be. And in order for Pac to continue to write those crazy ass lyrics, they kept him high on marijuana and Alizé. He's got up, and that's all he did was just write. But at the same time, lo and behold, behind closed doors, Pac was writing them songs up and doing recording all that shit so goddamn fast. They was like, damn, Pac doing some right. But what they didn't know was Pac was trying to hurry up and get out that contract. And he knew that he had a 3-album contract that he had to do. So he went ahead and wrote them joints and got done with it. And at the same time, they kept taunting him, you know what I'm saying? Because Suge Knights was fucking motherfuckers up in front of him, fighting folks and stuff. And it basically kind of had Pac nervous, but Pac was trying to build up his persona to be a bad boy too. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a bunch of shit that basically got Pac in a lot of bullshit. And when it was all said and done with, Pac ended up recording Hit 'Em Up because he basically wanted to make Biggie look like a damn fool, you know, and talk shit about Biggie. Biggie didn't fire back. He said he could have, but he didn't. But Biggie was saying couple of little words about Pac in the song Brooklyn's Finest on Jay-Z's album, Reasonable Doubt. He said, if I can remember the lyrics, he said, if Faye have twins, she'll probably have two Pacs. Get it? Two Pac. When he said that, I was like, God damn, he fucking with Pac. And I think Pac, that's why Pac probably wrote that damn Hit 'Em Up song. But they said it was because Biggie had a song called Who Shot You. But the media sized that shit up because Who Shot You came out in 94. It just was a bonus track that was later added to the Ready to Die album, because that song was old. That song came out before Pac was even shot at Quad Studio. But they took it and reran it in 95, around the time when Pac got shot, to try to create this East Coast, West Coast rap war shit between Pac and Biggie. See, a lot of people didn't know that. See how fucked up the power that be is? See, they was creating this hateful surrounding that was going to start of the bullshit between East Coast rappers and West Coast rappers. So when Pac came out with Hit 'Em Up, he basically was shitting on everybody that was down with Bad Boy. He was even dissing some West Coast rappers like Saphir and Chino XL. All them were Bay Area rappers. But lo and behold, he got so fucked up to where when Pac, after he had recorded that song, Pac was just like, fuck it. You know, I ain't gonna trip this shit. He's like, he was just doing, he basically said, I was just doing that shit just for attention and money. But he really said he really didn't really have too much no beef with Biggie like that. He just was mad at the fact that they didn't have his back when he got shot. But Pac later on ended up recording Machiavelli. And when he recorded Machiavelli, he had a lot of hardcore lyrics and dissing lyrics on that album. But for the most part, he had songs on there that basically specified the Illuminati. And he was basically exposing the Illuminati in that song. And how he sold his soul and stuff like that. So as time went along, Pac said, you know, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna get out of this whole fucking rap game. I did those 3 albums that you motherfuckers want me to do. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and start my own record label. I'm finna go ahead and start back acting. Pac started doing his little acting thing and stuff and whatnot. But lo and behold, Pac ended up losing his life in Vegas after watching the Mike Tyson fight in 1996, September 16, 1996. I'll never forget that day because my nephew in LA paged me and told me that. Told me, oh, they killed him. And I'm like, what? They killed who? I'm like, Pac. I was like, damn. I'm like, are you sure? And then, you know, most people was like, this nigga that got shot. He got shot 5 times before. He got shot a couple more times. He'll be all right. He'll be right back out the hospital doing some more shit. But he didn't make it. Biggie basically was like, he was hurt behind this shit because he never got a chance to see Pac and talk to Pac about their little scuffles. And what fucked me up was that all this shit started to really be real weird because right after Pac died, Biggie recorded his double album, Life After Death. Now, after he recorded this album, he ends up going out to Los Angeles, my hometown, to promote it. Everybody back then was trying to figure out why the fuck is they letting Biggie go out to the danger zone? Because people on the West Coast is still pissed off about Pac being dead. Exactly. They still tripped out about Pac being dead. When Pac basically was loved all over the West Coast. So everybody like, what the fuck is Biggie doing out here? Because when they heard Biggie was in LA, Biggie had went to the Beverly Center. And when he went to the Beverly Center, people was hooping and hollering. Like, nigga, you gonna get yours, nigga, you gonna get yours for Pac, nigga. We gonna get you for Pac, nigga. His phone was getting tapped. People was calling his phone, making threats. It was just all kind of shit. And he did a interview with BET, Joe Clair, and he said that, you know, when he heard the death of Pac, he was like, whoa. He just couldn't believe it. He was like, damn. You know, he's like, even through all our beefs, I would never wish no death on nobody. Biggie ended up going to the Vibe magazine party. And when he went there, he sat at the table and chilling and just pretty much in a melancholy mood. But I know deep down inside that brother's mind, he felt like something was finna happen to him because he knew he was in the war zone, in the danger zone. And the hurting part about it, like I was thinking, I was like, why the fuck are you out here in Los Angeles? Why y'all couldn't let him have the fucking album release party in fucking New York, where he from? New York City is the biggest goddamn city in the nation. He could have had this shit in Radio City Music Hall or some fucking where. But they fly him to Los Angeles 6 months after Pac died. It was like, to me, but Biggie ends up, he dead. He gets up in the Suburban. Somebody in the damn Dodge, I mean, not Dodge, that Dodge Charge, but motherfucking Impala SS, 96 Impala SS, souped up, pulled up right beside him, and popped him. Killed him instantly. Sound like to me, it was a setup. But one thing I can say by his mother, Miss Wallace, she said, you know, I never really understood that rap music. He said, but my son, I know he loved it. And he wanted to be a part of it, even though I didn't want him to. And I knew, I just felt it in my heart that it was not right. But he begged me, as well as Puffy and all of them, that my son was very talented and that they would look out for him. They looked out for him, all right. He was about here. Yeah. Very sad, bro. Very fucking sad. You know, even when I got that phone call for Biggie dying, because that's when we had the pagers back in the day, and my nephew informed me again, like, damn, another one gone. First was Pac, now it's Biggie. I was like, God damn. Then we heard over the radio, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell going on? But you would have thought after those two situations in hip-hop history that happened, two giants, Pac and Biggie, lost their lives on bullshit. Both of them not even 30 years old. I'm thinking Pac was 25 and I'm thinking Biggie was 24. Some shit like that. Just think about that. These guys was even really fully grown yet and lost their life. All because they had an agenda that was finna change hip-hop music forever through these two brothers. Because after that, you would have thought, okay, that didn't happen. So now we got to bounce back and do something different with hip-hop. Oh, no. We started getting worse and worse. Because as years went along, shit started popping off even more. 1999. Right back at Bad Boy again. Puff Daddy got into a dispute with somebody in New York at a New York nightclub, pulled out his gun and shot this young lady in her face. And my man that sung Bad Boy, what was his name? Damn. That was one of my, I just love him. I had his 12-inch when I first started DJing. That was one of my first records that I started to play. Besides Whoa, God Rest Dead by Black Rob. What's that dude name? Sean. Yeah, Shine. That's him, cuz. Thanks, cuz. Shine. That's him. Shine ended up taking a rap for Puff's situation, to where he got locked up for a little while, and then they just exported him back to his country. But I've never heard anything good about Puff Daddy and how he does his little situation with Bad Boy. I heard every time a person wilter up under Puff Daddy, something always go wrong. And I can believe that. I can strongly believe that. Because the label is not solid. This industry shit is not solid for black people. If you got to go to these Caucasian people for something on that level, you might well get ready to hang it up. Something bad's gonna happen. And the reason why I say that is because look at what we got going on 20 years later after all that shit. It was beef after beef after beef after beef after beef. Death, motherfucking death. Right after Pac and Biggie. Think about that. Now you go back to the 80s, you hear none of this shit. But like I said, after that goddamn meeting in 1991, it changed hip hop forever. Yeah, God Rest Dead, DJ Jam Master Jay. And his murder still unsolved. But from what I was told, Jam Master Jay basically was supposed to have been sacrificed through 50 Cent. I don't know how true it is, but could be. I don't know, because Jam Master Jay is responsible for 50 Cent's come up. See, 50 Cent was out in 1999, but his material never got out because 50 Cent had got shot. Something happened bad. Something bad that had happened to 50 in 99. Because he was up under Sony, up under Columbia Records back then in 99. But his material never got out. He never even got a chance to even get heard on the radio. But Jam Master Jay was supposed to be the man that basically helped 50 get where he is today. With the help of Dr. Dre as well, you know, as far as the beats and all that old shit. But yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, there's always a method to the madness in this hip hop shit that a lot of people don't even really understand. Yeah, Big L, yeah, God Rest Dead, Big L. And Big L, he got fucked off on some jealous shit You know, a lot of times, you know, but see, I've always believed that everything that we create, they destroy. And we help destroy as black people. Because, you know, after Pac and Big's death, like I say, the rap music started to get more intensified with violence. But we were still rocking to it. We were still enjoying it. And it started getting really fucked up because when you used to go to a rap concert, you went to a rap concert, you just knew it was going to be beautiful. It was going to be lovely. Everything all to the good. But later on down the line, you go to, you know, after Pac and Biggie's death, you can't go to a concert and just enjoy yourself because motherfuckers going to start shooting in the bitch. And like I said, I have never encountered none of this shit before in my life because even when I was young, that I can remember, I remember back in 87 when Run DMC came to LA and Run DMC did a concert in Long Beach and one of the guys was talking shit while DMC was up there talking. And I don't know if it was Ron. I think it was Ron was talking. DMC was the one, I think, got into it with the dude. They got the fish fight on stage. And the shit was on the news. And that kind of fucked me up because I was like, wow. That was the only violent type of situation I've ever encountered, ever heard of in that particular time, which was nothing. That was just a fist fight. You know, even when LL Cool J, he came to LA, he came to World on Wheels, which is was a roller skating arena. He came in there with his fuzzy Kangol hat, you know, and it was red. And World on Wheels neighborhood is Crips. So you know where I'm going with this. One thing about LA niggas, they don't give a fuck who you are unless you Michael Jackson. Now, if you Michael Jackson, they'll give you a pass. Everybody love Michael Jackson. But LL Cool J, he's an East Coast nigga. Fuck that nigga. They don't give a fuck about him rapping. So what? This nigga got this dead ass hat on his head, which is a diss for Red. But, you know what I'm saying? They jumped on LL Cool J, beat the hell out of him. But, you know, you fast forward from all that to right now where we at in fucking 2022. And Cuz just brought it up right here. The latest Young Dolph, unnecessary death. Well, we're gonna go in on this situation now. We're gonna go further up. You know, I seen hip hop start to really go into a real big turn after 2008. And that's when this guy, young man he's really from Chicago, but he used to live in Mississippi. But he ended up moving to Atlanta. And I bet you I probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But he made it big. And I'll tell you who it is. The man's name is Soulja Boy. When I first heard Soulja Boy music in 2008, he had a song called Crank That. Superman that hoe. I thought that was one of the most weirdest rap songs I've ever heard in my entire life. But it was kind of on the concepts of, because Joski Love made me he woke me up on that. But in a way, Joski Love was kind of trying to co-sign that shit, but I'm not. But in a way, it is kind of on that level. Joski Love was the guy that made Pee-wee's Dance. And Joski Love said that his music, that song, and his song And Soulja Boy's song was pretty much just alike, but a little bit different. But it was just like because it was a dance song, yeah. But the thing about what Joeski Love didn't understand was that Joeski Love was rapping about a character in a funny movie and made it a dance because Pee Wee Herman had this little dance, that little Pee Wee Herman shit. You know what I'm saying? Soulja Boy was on a whole nother level because when he was talking about super soak that hoe, he wasn't talking about no damn water gun. He was talking about sperm, talking about skeeting in a motherfucking woman's face, and had young folks saying this shit. LL Cool J and Kool Moe Dee did it right. They had beefs. Yeah, on the mic, yeah. Why you brought that up? Cause Kool Moe Dee is the reason why LL Cool J is in the mainstream, believe it or not. If LL Cool J was around, he'll tell you. Kool Moe Dee is the reason why he's up in the top rankings of hip hop. If it wasn't for Kool Moe Dee. See, Kool Moe Dee was way back in the Treacherous Street days, you know what I'm saying? And you know, LL basically felt like when he came out, he felt like he was unstoppable. Nobody could touch him on that microphone. And Kool Moe Dee took shots at that because Kool Moe Dee felt like this nigga is sleeping. This nigga crazy. He think he bad. What? Anyway. Because he said on that song, How You Like Me Now, he said, what did he say? I can't remember. I can't remember, but it was crazy though. He like, you know, How You Like Me Now part of that song was a diss on LL Cool J. And then LL Cool J came back with Jack the Ripper. And he dissed him on Jack the Ripper. And then Kool Moe Dee came back again and dissed him on Let's Go, the Death Blow. And he said 3L. He said LL Cool J is the 3L, lower, lousy, low level, or some shit like that. It was funny. But they had it going on. You know, they cool as a fan now. They still alive. But that's what hip hop was all about. It was okay to beef. It was okay to go back and forth at each other. Because that was the whole concept of hip hop. KRS-One will tell you that's what made hip hop, because it was to see how real you were on that microphone. That's the reason why we used to have freestyle battles, because to see how knowledgeable you got off the top of your dome. And another thing that most people don't understand about hip hop is the word MC, Master of Ceremony. MC, Masters of Ceremony, meaning that you are in control of your own destiny. You're in control of what you say and the contents you say it. You know, have you noticed? Ain't no more MCs out there no more, cuz they don't even have the word MC. Rappers not even calling themselves MCs anymore. They call themselves Young, Little, and Baby. Oh, what a coincidence. Did I just say Young, Little, and Baby? Don't they got a rapper called Little Baby? Because see, the whole persona is to make you think younger than who you are. See, when you're young and you're little and you're a baby, what is a baby? A baby is an infant, a child that's learning, that don't know nothing. They basically saying you don't know nothing rapper. You're an unlearned rapper. You ain't shit. See, when you're an MC, you're a master of ceremony. That means you're in control of your own mindset. Whatever the fuck you put on that paper is what you mean and what you say and what you're going to say to the world. They don't want you being a master of your own destiny. Not if you get their motherfucking money. That's why you go around here calling yourself the baby, little baby, young Dolph, young young this, young that, because they see no substance of you. They treat you like a little kid that they think you are. Nah, cause it don't mean move the crowd is master of ceremony. But yeah, it could be. It could, but in a way, master of ceremony, move the crowd is pretty much the same thing, because when you're talking to them, you're talking directly at them to let them know that you stand on what you say. You stay on what you stand. You stay on what you stand on. But they took all that because you ain't finna be masters of shit when you getting all motherfucking money. Now think about that shit, cuz. Because see, look. Do you notice the rappers back then wasn't out there flashing their motherfucking money and having big whops of money and all that shit? Because when you was rapping real hip hop back in those days, you ain't finna get nobody make like you on top of the goddamn world. No, nigga, no. But when you ain't rapping about shit, yeah, you get big walls of money. Now think about that shit. They'll give you cars, clothes, and hoes and worthless currency. Yeah, I said motherfucking worthless currency. Because America's money ain't worth a damn right now. Why you think the gas price higher? Why you think the clothes and shit, food and stuff going up? It ain't worth a damn. That's why it's so easy for niggas to get out here and talk about secure the bag and showing their money. We had to do all that shit back then. Because when we had, it was our motherfucking business. Not everybody else's business. But they already know quiet is kept. As long as they got your mind thinking that you doing big, you all over the goddamn place. Just like that. Plain and simple. They know what's up. We don't. But but you know what? I ain't trying to put the brother out on blast, but I want y'all to see this shit right here. This shit right here was too fucking funny. Let me see if I can find that clip. Let's see, where is that? I think I can put it on here. I'm going to show y'all something right quick. And it fucked me up. Well, it didn't fuck me up because I understand, but let's see. Where is it at? I probably didn't load it in here. Let me see. What's this here? Now they kill. Listen to this shit, y'all. Check this out.
Now the kid really selling. In high school, I never was failing. I think that's why they mad at me. They mad cause they bitch trying to grab at me. They mad, stop, you can't.
Oh, my fault. I got hype.
You can't do that though.
All right, one more.
Garbage. I told my girl like fuck it, you gotta go. All she wanna do is watch TV, eating and smoke. I wanna enjoy the fruits of my labor, I can't alone. When your girl ain't trying to grow, home ain't feeling like home. Yes, that's my cue to go. Thought we was friends for a mo. Just know I gave him my all these hoes I could've boned. Like Taylor Nicole, could've gave it his big stroke, but no, didn't know. Could've left my pigeon toe. Instead I played my position, copped you some new clothes, even got you 40K off.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Y'all heard that bullshit? That was, what's his name? Little Yachty. First lady, like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was the rapper Little Yachty from Atlanta. Underline the word little. See what I'm talking about? When you're little, when you're young, and when you're a baby, you cuckoo gaga. You ain't got the adult mind that be the master of ceremony. So you sound just like what you fucking are. You little nigga. Crambo ass nigga. Fuck out of here. That ain't no hip hop. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I know it ain't hip hop. They say it's hip hop, but it ain't hip hop. That's a damn disgrace in the place. But they know it. But you know what's so funny is that you got people our age, cuz First Lady and others out there, they'll tell you, man, you just old, man. You got to be with the times. You know what I'm saying? You know, things change. It's a new day. Nobody don't want to hear that old ass shit no more. That old hip hop shit. Fuck that. Nigga, you got to listen to this new shit. You know what I'm saying? That new shit is where it's at. But you know, one thing about it, yeah, Snoop Dogg, yeah, he did that. But but I'm gonna show you something. We so quick to diss our original culture to where Caucasian people love their old culture. You don't hear white people complaining about the Rolling Stones, Rod Stewart, what's the other bands? The Eagles, all these other 70s and 80s groups. You don't hear the white folks talking about, oh, you don't hear them kids talking about, I don't hear that old stuff. They listening to it with their parents. But us, oh, we just throw our shit away. Fuck it, you don't want my young folks to listen to that shit. I listen to what they listen to. So you're basically telling me that you letting the young folks be the control of your own destiny. They got to say so for you to listen to. And you wonder why these young motherfuckers going out here killing each other and doing all the stupid shit that they doing? Because they ain't got the notion to know what you need to teach them. That's the reason why it's so easy for these motherfuckers to get out here and do all the stupid shit they do out here. Because we sitting up there letting them be in control. No, they ain't got no business being in control. Because they young, they still trying to learn. They don't know no more than you know. Yeah, I know sometimes you got to listen to your kids. Yeah, you do have to listen to your kids, but your kids got to listen to you. You brought them in the world. They didn't bring you in the world. So that's how that shit works. But I want to show y'all something. Another clip on how white people basically love your shit better than you love your shit.
So damn young, dude.
26.
26.
Did you know Mac Miller before this?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So damn young, dude.
26.
26.
Did you know Mac Miller before this?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Like I heard of him. Yeah, I've definitely heard of him. I listened to So damn young, dude.
26.
26.
Did you know Mac Miller before this?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Like I heard of him. Yeah, I've definitely heard of him. I listened to a little bit of his stuff.
So switch it up a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, in loving memory of Mac Miller.
Rest in peace, Mac.
Rest in peace, Mac. Another one down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he sounded like Tupac, but
I can't. That was like the most random.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that was the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. I'm not really that into it.
No?
Into rap. I liked rap better when in the days of Tupac and
Biggie.
yeah, and
So damn young, dude.
26.
26.
Did you know Mac Miller before this?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Like I heard of him. Yeah, I've definitely heard of him. I listened to a little bit of his stuff.
So switch it up a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, in loving memory of Mac Miller.
Rest in peace, Mac.
Rest in peace, Mac. Another one down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he sounded like Tupac, but
I can't. That was like the most random.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that was the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. I'm not really that into it.
No?
Into rap. I liked rap better when in the days of Tupac and
Biggie.
yeah, and Dr. Dre and Eminem and all of them. You know, I liked it.
Yeah.
And then it just, I don't know, to me, it just,
Yeah, white people got involved.
yeah, and then all of a sudden,
White people
I didn't
ruined
like,
hip-hop. That's right.
I mean, I actually like Tupac. I mean, I
Yeah.
like his songs and stuff, you know, but I like Dr. Dre, that one song with Eminem and Dr. Dre, that's a great song.
Is it the Slim Shady one?
No, forgot about Dre.
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about Dre. That's
Yeah.
a really
Dre.
good song. And then Snoop Dogg and all that. That was some
Bone
great-
Thugs.
Yeah, Bone
Bone
Thugs was
Thugs.
real good. Yeah, I
that was
remember
some
that.
really good music. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, to me, then you start listening to stuff, and I'm thinking, man, it sounds.
I'm not sure what happened. Well, I kind of do know. I'm not going to
terrible.
get
It's-
into
it
it.
sounds
but-
the same
a lot
to
of
me.
swearing and vulgar and
Yeah.
and a lot of. I didn't think back then it was all that. I mean, the emphasis wasn't all about, you know,
It was
crime and bitches and hoes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think it degenerated.
Yeah.
To that, yeah, it kind
To
of
that.
flipped
And now
back
that's what
to
it's
that.
all about.
Yeah.
It's like the whole song
The whole
is just
song.
it'd be as vulgar.
Yeah, like when Tupac saying that, Mama, that's a good.
That's
song.
a really good
great
song. Yeah. California Love's a good one.
Yeah, because there's a history there, right? Tupac's mother was
And the
in
Black Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the rap nowadays, like a lot of the cadence is the same, like with the way they rap.
Mm-hmm. The
And it's
beats are
just-
the same.
The beats are the same. They all use that auto tune or whatever.
Yeah.
It sounds the same to me. Like what the stuff you're talking about, it sounded different. Like you could tell the different artists. But I guess if you listen to it all the time,
This depends. Well,
You
I
can
think
tell.
like all popular rap sounds the same. But
Yeah.
obviously like underground. There's
Yeah.
still people doing the Tupac-ish, Bone Thug-ish things.
Yeah.
But people don't listen to it. It's
Yeah.
our fault too. We like
the catchy.
trolly annoying stuff. Like the
Yeah.
internet. Memes and being annoying. Like everybody's making fun of Mac Miller being dead. You see all that?
They're making.
We're gonna stop it right there. But see, it's bad when the Caucasian people can pick up on the whole concept of hip hop, pick up on on what you created, and then when asked the question, well, Caucasian people don't really know our stuff like we do. That's why they say what they say, and but in a way, to me, a lot of them be low key trying to be funny, because like the one dude said, he said he don't know what happened to rap. He said, I know what happened to it, but I just don't want to go into it. Yeah, I know you do. I'm sure you do. But a lot of us as black people, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened at all, because the first thing that we think is, well, it's just a new day. Times has changed. That's all we know. But you don't realize that times has changed ain't always a good thing, because you got to think about how the music that we listen to, it basically glorifies us to just have a good time and enjoy ourselves. This music nowadays don't glorify you having a good time and enjoying yourself. It's more about mean mugging and looking up a person and spraying their ass. Because I'm in the club scene, and I've been DJing since 1999, and I was on the back end of when hip hop started to really transition itself to being nothing out here. But even when I first started DJing, hip hop still had a chant where everybody was rocking and dancing and everything, or whatever the case may be. It's just about, like I said, 2008 down 2010 on down to right now is when music started taking the turn for the worse, because even the fashion started to change. We had the baggy jeans and stuff like that, big shirts and stuff. Now you got these motherfuckers with tight ass leggy pants and flip flops, and they look like they ready to go to a goddamn a gay pride parade. Hey, I'm just saying like it is. I'm not fuck all that, but it just looked fruity than a motherfucker. And people get mad at me and say, "Oh, come on, KR, there you go with that gay shit." No, I'm just saying, I ain't the only one that feel like this. There's a sister that feel like this too.
So I wake up to TikTok muting my video. So I guess I can't say the N-word. Cool. Can we normalize men dressing like this again? Men dressing like this again? Instead of like this? When I say sexy, sexy. Him? Pants tighter than mine. Stop it. Just saying.
You heard the sister say it. I didn't say it. She did. So it just goes to show you, Tessa. But that's what they want these young folks to think that's how it's supposed to be. They want the young folks to be glorified in that type of foolishness. See, it ain't all about the new generation or times have changed. It's about the fact that they want this music as well as the young folks to act more feminine and more weaker than ever before. Because when you listen to these young rappers today, they're not really rapping about nothing. Some of them, don't get no disrespect to them, but it's just they need to learn more about where hip hop really first started and originated. Oh yeah, Lil Nas X. We can talk about him. See, Lil Nas X came out the same way Soulja Boy did. Came out as a fun-loving type of rapper. He came out there, the little kids, you seen the little shit, Old Town Road, and he was on had a little cowboy suit on, dressing like a black motherfucking John Wayne type of country boy shit, but looked kind of feminine then because it was leather shit. But the others was like, okay, whatever, they're just something different or whatever. But the country folks, the folks that love country music, was like, that ain't us. Who the fuck that is? That ain't none of our type of music, goddamn it. The fuck is he talking about? But even though he had Billy Ray Cyrus, featuring on that album, on the song with him, it kind of peppered up a little bit like it was country, but they didn't consider that part of the country persona or whatever. But like I said, he came up the same way Soulja Boy did. He came up with the kids, with the kids dancing and had the little cowboy suits on and shit. And now you look up, he done went from that to dancing, twerking on the damn devil and doing all the little fun boy shit. See, that's what I'm talking about. They make fun of our culture. And it's set up like that for one reason, because there are all types of reasons for that. One of the reasons are depopulation control. They want niggas dead. That's one. Two, they want niggas to not have the glorification of liking women anymore. They want niggas to love each other. That's why when you go to a club nowadays, guys ain't trying to hear no slow jams or hear nothing that's sounding real smooth to where they can grab a woman and slow dance with her now. All they want to do is get up there and dance with his homeboy. Yo, yeah, my homies, yeah. And you like, but what about the female? Man, fuck them bitches, man. I'm rapping this bitch with my homies, with my homeboy. Fuck them hoes. But at the same time, now you got the female saying, fuck them bitch ass niggas. Sorry, stanky dick ass niggas. Fuck y'all niggas. Y'all ain't shit either. Don't even realize that's a divide and conquer to it. Because when you ain't got these two tied together no more to make another living organ, then what you have? Nothing. Life starts to deteriorate. That's what they want. That's why hip hop has changed. Now everybody that watched this video, you can get a notion of what I said from the beginning to right here in the end. It's about destroying the culture of black people's lives. About destroying our fun-loving way of how we basically communicate with each other. We communicate with each other through music. We've been communicating with each other through music ever since the beginning of time. Since ancient Egypt and Africa, we communicated with drums. The pulse, the bass is the same pulse and bass in your heart. Boom, 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 boom. You hear that boom, boom? That boom, boom gives you high frequency of energy. It keeps you moving. boom, boom. That's why your cars have bass in it. That's why you go down the street and be bumping loud as a motherfucker in your car. Because it's got that high energy bass. Bump. But they also figured that shit out too. You know why? Because they know that that bass and high trebles of music can get in your mind right along with the bullshit ass lyrics that they basically put out there and fuck with your mind to do stupid shit. Tell you to go get you a cup of lean, drink that lean, smoke your blunt, get high, go over here and shoot your homeboy, shoot one of your partners or whatever the fuck. That's what this is all about. That sound, it basically absorbs your frequency in your mind, as well as when you're doing what they say do. Because a lot of these rappers that talk about they be doing all that shit, they don't do it. They just doing it for a paycheck. That's what this is all about. Lil Dolph, Young Dolph, he basically said in a couple of interviews, he's like, man, I don't do all this shit that they say I'm doing. He said, I'm just rapping about it because that's what they want me to do. So what the fuck is that telling y'all? That this shit is not real. This shit is not fucking real. See, even when you're drinking that lean and shit, a lot of people don't even know. God rest his dead to PMC from UGK. That's how he died. They signed him up. You see, they know he like to drink syrup, which is lean. You know, that's a Houston, Texas type of shit. You know what I'm saying? When you mix codeine and Sprite together, and you mix that shit together, because see, codeine by itself is already strong, but when you add Sprite to it, it gives a stronger, the acid brings the taste out, and it gets even stronger, and it makes it powerful, and it basically slow your heart down. You pulse your heart down. That's what make you be all dizzy and like that, then to die. And then a lot of times you end up dying. They promote all that shit in your music, in your hip hop. See, like I say, a lot of it is okay, and then a lot of it I just don't care for. I don't give a fuck for. You know, you got good rappers that's still out today. You know, Kendrick Lamar, Wale, J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? I listen to guys like that. They all right. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even out of Mississippi, Big Crit. Everybody just gave up on Big Crit. Big Crit is a real good rapper. The brother that was on my YouTube, John Shoop said, Tom McDonald. Y'all check Tom McDonald out. He's a Caucasian man, but hell, he rapping just like we used to rap back in the days. Now, see, that's the nutty shit that fucks me up. See, Caucasian people take your shit and make it better on their level of your shit. They take the persona of your shit and make it sound good and make you sound bad. Now think about that shit. Look at Eminem. Everybody think Eminem is the best rapper of all time, and he's Caucasian. What a coincidence! No, it ain't no coincidence. This is what they want the world to see. They don't want the world to have the notion of black people being at their greatness, especially a black man at his greatness of creating something that they once upon a time couldn't stand. Now they're making trillions of dollars a year off of it. And they're making a whole lot of money now than they have ever made before, is because you rapping about shit that they want you to rap about that consists of killing yourself, talking shit about black women, talking shit about yourself, making everybody look crazy in the black community. Oh yeah, you're doing the devil's dirty work. That's what they want. That's why they can get out here and flash the cash, because hey, you making, but y'all don't give a fuck. He said, hey, you making me some money, nigga. Keep on doing that, rapping that goof ass shit. That's why you're gonna always continue to be a little baby, the baby, young Dolph. You ain't gonna be no motherfucking MC, master of ceremony, because you ain't gonna be a control of nothing, especially if you're getting money out of our pockets. Fuck you mean? Like they say, fuck you mean? You ain't finna be no MC. And that's why I say you ain't heard of MC rapper since the 90s and 80s. They took all that shit out of there because they had to ask the question. What the fuck does MC mean? They got MC on the front of their name. MC Shy-D, MC Ren, MC Sean, Young MC. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, it means master of ceremony. Master of what? Master of ceremony. Meaning that they in control of the lyrics that they basically put out there to the world. Oh no, the fuck they ain't. They getting our motherfucking money. They gonna be little or young or a baby. So hey, there you have it. Like I say, and they got rappers called the Baby, Little Baby, Young Dro, Young Dolph. All these young motherfuckers, Lil Wayne. I mean, hey, they know your shit better than you know your shit. That's why it's easy for motherfuckers to sit up there and talk about, oh, you old school, you old fashioned, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You need to leave that shit alone. And okay, whatever. Motherfucker, I know what the business is. You don't. I know what their whole conjunction function is about. They're trying to get rid of our motherfucking ass through music. And it's working like a charm, as you can see. How many rappers have died since 2015? I think it's like almost 100 and something rappers. I ain't even know that many goddamn rappers out here rapping. Of course, there's a lot of these local rappers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of them, they surround areas. Because they trying to make an example out of our young folk. Come on, rap about your home, about motherfuckers on the other block over there. Talk bad about them. We'll give you a gun and a car to shoot them up with them about. Make them jealous, make them feel some type of way. Yeah, because when you say they got more exposure in social media too. Imagine if X-Clan, Public Enemy, KRS-One had it back then. Well, that's true, but see, in a nutshell, they would have been destroyed their hip hop situation if it would have got that far, because they know it would have got really off in there. They would have really changed the game. So they already knew what the business was on their behalf. They already had their eyes. How you say, they had their eyes on the prize even then. That's the reason why a lot of people would try to figure out, what if we did have social media back then? Oh, they would have went on there and they probably would have sot up KRS-One, said they caught him with some drugs. Would have said Chuck D would have shot Flavor Flav or something. They would have did something. They would have come up with some kind of lies to destroy that the image. Either way it go, they would have had something. Trust me, it wouldn't have mattered no way. But the thing about it is, the whole concept is to be conscious minded, be awakened to what's really going on in society, what they don't want you to know. They want you to be deaf, dumb, and blind on every cause, because if you be smart than they are, then you have to be dealt with. But at the same time, we have to get to the notion of getting our livelihood back, because we're slowly going back to slavery. We don't even know it. Think all these police shootings and y'all voting for Joe Biden and all this shit is. Cause I didn't have motherfucker tell me the other day that Joe Biden is better than Donald Trump. I said both of them motherfuckers the same. Ain't but Democrat is an offshoot of the Republican Party, and Republican Party is an offshoot of the Democratic Party. It's the same fucking thing. They play mind games with you, because you got like I say. We need to stop being scared and open up the history books and learn what the fuck is wrong with us today. That's all you gotta do. Go back. You ain't gotta go back all the way back to the 20th, the ancient history. You can go back as far as 1960, and I guarantee you read up on everything that went on with black people around that time. You will find out every fucking thing you need to know in society with black people. Especially why black women feel the way they feel today, throwing men on child support. You don't know why. you'll see why. Why black men are in the condition that we're in. Why we are so separate away from black women. Why black women are so separate away from black men. All this shit. All you gotta do is go back to the 60s, baby. You'll find out everything you need to know. Dr. King, Brother Malcolm, Medgar Evers, the Black Panther Party, the Deacons of Defense, shit, Kennedy's assassination. Oh, there's a whole lot of shit you can read up on, and it will tell you everything you need to know why the black community is in shambles right today. I did, and look at me. I just gave y'all 2 hours and 20 minutes of my persona of hip hop. What happened to hip hop? It's because I knew as I got older that music from back in the days made a whole lot of sense compared to what it makes sense today. It ain't because I'm getting old or we getting old and we're naive, senile or some shit. It's just because you can see that the environment in our society is slowly dying compared to how it was back in the day. It was fucked up back then too, don't get me wrong, but it's more fucked up than ever before now than it is today because we got social media now. Everybody can talk to everybody and now you can be there. So it's really fucked up. You can't walk around this motherfucking earth without this bitch on you every time you look around because I'm one of them. Every day we doing this shit all day long. Even when we drive and we doing this shit. Even though they say don't text and drive, who the fuck you talking to? You gonna text and drive. You don't want to, but you gonna do it. That's just the way it is. We program. I ain't gonna lie. We program. That's just how they got it. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and end the segment. Oh, cousin got on the line. Peace, cuzzo. Thought you probably be DJing right now. He ain't going to the spot yet. What you say? It used to belong to you, but niggas got one more. want more, yeah. They want to see what's behind the doors, chaos. That's how they influence us from our natural way of thinking. Because they offered the bag, the rest is history. Oh yeah, for sure. All day. Cause you learn from the best, bro. I'm proud of you. You got that shit right. Because right there ain't but that's our family right there, Derek. Cornelius Williams. That's what DJ Chopper. He learned a lot of that shit from me. He know. He's an 80s baby. He born in 1987. And he know more about what's going on in this motherfucking society than the average motherfucking 80s baby know. But the thing about it is sometimes you gotta step out of that goddamn bullshit ass I want to feel good about living type of lifestyle and feel bad sometimes. Find out who you are. Find out what the fuck going on in this society. And stop letting motherfuckers tell you otherwise. Because other than that, you're going to be fucked up all day long. That's what it took me to do that. I've been driving trucks almost 20 years. And out of all these 20 years, I've been reading, listening to different radio shows. Because back in the days, they didn't have internet when I first started. They had internet when I started driving trucks, but it wasn't like cyberspace, this heavy shit they got now. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But now they got, everybody in Maine got a podcast. But back then, I was listening to a lot of talk shows, radio shows and stuff. And I was reading up on a lot of stuff. And man, the stuff that I read up on how we are being deaf, dumb, and blind and fucked up, I had to share this shit with my cousins. I was like, man, goddamn, we fucked up for real. That's just like when a motherfucker told you about Santa Claus is coming to town. We was waiting. He gonna come through the chimney. And we ain't got no motherfucking chimney. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of shit. They tell you about Easter. Tomorrow's supposed to be Easter or some shit. But at the same time, you're supposed to be worrying about Passover or some shit with Jesus or whatever the case may be. But they come to you with a motherfucking Easter bunny with eggs. And Easter and bunnies don't have eggs. So they started fucking. Let me get the fuck out. Let me stop. Let me get up off this motherfucker, man. I didn't win in tonight, goddamn. I'm tired of shit. I gotta go to Kansas tomorrow. I gotta go to Kansas to meet Dorothy, goddamn. Let me stop. But anyway, Much love to y'all, man. I didn't win in enough tonight, goddamn. I just had to just put this situation out about hip hop because I get tired and being sick and tired of people just trying to figure out why hip hop is like it is because everybody making up all kind of excuses to say there's a new day and everything is this and that. No, I don't want to hear that shit. It's bullshit. Bullshit. You know, it's bullshit. I want to play that goddamn clip. That motherfucking clip. No, I got one for y'all. Show you how they done fucked up hip hop. Let's see what cuz say. Remember when we used to drive those trucks and pay those high ass Roman? Yeah, bruh. You let me tell you something. You know what? That's why I took my phone calls. Yeah, because I remember what you talking about, fam. I took my phone calls after 7 o'clock. It was free night. You know that free nights and weekend shit. After 7 o'clock, you can talk to your motherfucking mouth fall to the ground. But anything other than that, goddamn it, you gonna be paying unless you still got minutes on your phone. Yeah, I remember them days. I did not like that shit. Thank God we didn't rose above all that goof ass shit. Boy, I tell you, it was a hard hill to climb back in them days. God damn. Anybody want to talk to me? Talk at night. If I was lucky to have my phone on, other than that, I'd be in the bed asleep. You just want to talk to me probably another time or some shit. Other than that, goddamn, you ain't talking to me anymore. You ain't talking to me no damn daytime. Fuck that. But even back in them days, I used to run so hard, man, company driver wise. I ain't gonna have time to talk no way. Shout out to my son and mama. They never want to talk all the time. I'm like, man, I gotta work. Nah, you want to talk now? Look, I'm like, I can't waste up my goddamn time on no goddamn phone. Shit, yeah, $600 phone bill for real. Shit. But let me see. Let me go ahead and play this one clip before I get up off here. I want y'all to see this shit. This shit again. Who was that rapper? It's like I say, this is some sad shit, man. Let me see. This is
not a kid really selling. In high school, I never was failing. I think that's why they mad at me. They mad cause they bitch trying to grab at me. They mad, stop, you can't.
Oh, my fault. I got hype.
You can't do that though.
All right, one more.
Garbage. I told my girl like fuck it, you gotta go. All she wanna do is watch TV, eating and smoke. I wanna enjoy the fruits of my labor, I can't elope. When your girl ain't tryna grow, home ain't feeling like home. Yes, that's my cue to go. Thought we was friends growing mo. Just know I gave him my all these hoes I could've boned. Like Taylor Nicole, could've gave it his big stroke. But no, didn't know. Could've left a pigeon toe. Instead I played my position. Copped you some new clothes. Even got you 40K off it. And what I get in return, a lot of mouth and no don't. Cause when the cons is outweighing the pros, it's like, bro, come on. You on your own, I ain't doing this no more. But I'm the one who's wrong, yeah.
Damn, I understand that dude there better than I did Little Yachty, whatever the hell his name is. Bruh, let me get my ass off this thing, man. Shit. Well, I just hope like hell, hopefully in due time, rap, hip-hop will come back and find its root back to where it's all began, man, because this shit is just wrong, man, because y'all don't realize this rap music is really fucking y'all up. And it's fucking y'all up for a reason. It ain't fucking y'all up because it's a coincidence. It's fucking y'all up because the coincidence is to basically get your ass the fuck up out of here. And what a good way to do it by doing it through music. Because like I said, music soothes the savage breast. It basically soothes the mind, body, and soul, and they know it. And it also makes you do crazy shit. So, yeah. What's up, DJ Doug Fresh? Yeah, bro. Yeah, it was pretty stable, bro. It was on hip hop. It's on hip hop. I started to hit you up and see if you wanted to come on and do a segment with me on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say, cuz? Hip hop is dead. Nas told you that. He told the truth. Yeah, well, I mean, hip hop is dead as far as the industry because the industry took over the hip hop situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it ain't, because see, back in the days, hip hop wasn't really industry like it is now. Hip hop is fully industry now. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, this one video here, these motherfuckers dancing to Megan Thee Stallion. This was kind of funny to me. Check this shit out. That was too much right there. Never mind. Yep, that was too much right there. Too motherfucking much. But I tell you one thing, I'm gonna always be an old school hip hop junkie to the day I die. I'm sorry, I just love it. I love my hip hop, my old school hip hop. I sit up there today and watch DJ Jazzy Jeff do a show for the first time since the pandemic. He did a show with Rakim Allah, and man, he rocked that motherfucker. Boy, I'll probably look at that before I go to bed tonight again. But one thing I can tell you, that's always been my favorite DJ, and I'm a DJ myself, DJ Jazzy Jeff, much love. But DJ Jazzy Jeff be fucking with them turntables, bro. And I'll be like, shit. I'll be like, man, every time he be fucking them turntables up, I had to get back on my shit. Like, let me get back up here and practice again a little bit more. And I've been doing it, a good while, but Jazzy Jeff been on it for real. Okay, I'll send it to you, fam. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I'm post it on Facebook and let y'all just check it out. But yeah, but Rakim, they had the camera pointed on Jazzy Jeff. But Rakim was rapping later on down the line, later on in the show. But he didn't show his face, but he was rapping. You could hear him rapping. But I know Jazzy Jeff had talked about this a couple of weeks ago that he was going to be doing a show with Rakim. And it felt good just to hear the old school hip hop vibe again, man. I loved it. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I hate I even missed the West Coast thing they had out there a couple of weeks ago in LA. Well, not in LA, Coachella. Ice Cube, Ice-T, and some old rappers, West Coast rappers, did a show out there. Man, I love shit like that, bro. I'm sorry. That's just in my blood. I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect to the new generation shit, but it's just that it ain't hitting for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's showing that it's not hitting for me because it's basically pouring out blood right in front of our face as we speak, because a lot of people are losing their life behind all this bullshit out here. But anyway, 6 a.m. Yeah, Ice-T. Yeah. But anyway, bro, and fam and peeps, all y'all guys, y'all make sure y'all have yourself a good night, because I am tired. I've been up since 5 this morning. I gotta get some good rest so I can get up and head down the road. Oh, I gotta give one little second clip right quick. I know y'all remember. I don't know how I forgot. I meant to bring up Master P.
The mighty crowd look good, but some tours don't make it back. And then they just been on your life, chick. They ready to take your ass out before that count of 1, 2, 3. So
okay, then my Master P. About it. Shout out to P. Yeah, fam. I'm finna get some sleep. Yep, I gotta give me some good rest so I can get on over here to Kansas, and then I leave Kansas and go up here to the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. I'm going further east. Ain't that something? I thought I was gonna go back west, but I'm going up east. I don't care. Shit. I just need to get that, as the young folks say, get that bag. I don't even like to say that shit. That shit sounds so corny. But anyway, man, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Have a good night, man. Thanks for coming to the show. I don't know what my next topic gonna be like. I might do a Let's Talk rant Wednesday. I don't know. I'll depend how I feel. I don't know. If something goofy come about, 9 times out of 10, I probably will. Other than that, I'm finna get up out of here so I can go ahead and make it do what it do for the for some good old rest. Oh, for real? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be heading up that way. What else I was gonna say? I will be in Mississippi Memorial Day weekend, even though I said I was, to be staying in Texas from now on. But I'm gonna go to Mississippi for Memorial Day weekend since, I done had a lot of people like, man, come on out and let's get fucked up and whatever the case may be or whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna leave my 18-wheeler in Jackson somewhere on lock and key. Shit, so whatever. But anyway, I guess that's it. Let me go and get my anus off of here. And y'all have yourself a good night, man. It's your boy Chaos. Deuces.
DJ Mix Master Chaos.
Food.